Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby. Let's clap it up. That little video was from Marshall. He's live on location at work right now. He works at a karaoke bar. I might be making my way down there. I might be going out to somewhere else because the city is about to be lit, ladies and gentlemen. The city is about to be lit. That was Marshall Best live at work, clapping it up for the Spurs. He did say the night before he had made a video and no one really recorded it. So unfortunately, we didn't able to see that. But yeah, man, he's celebrating over there, man. Shout out to him. I know he'll watch this either right now or later. Shout out to him, man. Appreciate him always being on the show. But I solo dolo tonight. And let me go ahead and put the banner up because the Spurs are moving on to the Western Conference Finals, ladies and gentlemen. They win the series 4-2 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. They put up a valiant effort. The final score tonight was 139-109. I'm going to give you a little heads up. In the fourth quarter, about the 8-minute mark, everybody kind of pulled their guys. We were watching Bismack Biyombo, Mason Plumlee. I remember one of the Plumlee brothers. I forget who we got. We saw Kelly Olynyk out there, Jordan McLaughlin, Harrison Barnes got some minutes with the guys. I mean, by a 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter, that kind of tells you this game was kind of over by then. Early on, though, the Minnesota did give a good, valiant effort in the second quarter where they went on a big run after the Spurs went on a 20-0 run. They answered back and got this. There was opportunity for the Minnesota Timberwolves to cut it under 10 points. They just could not reach that under 10 points. They couldn't make the shots. They couldn't get the stops to get it to that level. The Spurs did a good enough job to get it back to closer to 14, 15 points before the half. And then in the third quarter, I was deeply worried about the third quarter. I'm always worried about the third quarters. The end of the second quarters and the third quarter. And Minnesota kind of started to do that thing at the end of the second quarter. So then I was like, all right, the Spurs have to come out in the third quarter and answer. They cannot get this game close at home in Minnesota. And let me tell you, they did not. They did not let up, and they just opened a can. Everything was falling for the Spurs in that third quarter, and they went on a massive run, and it kind of closed the door on the Timberwolves pretty early. Like I said, Timberwolves were 7-minute marker. We were watching third and fourth strings play. So that was all she really wrote. How we got there, Castle had a big game. He ended up with 32 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Part of the strategy early on was put Rudy Gobert on Castle, see if he can hit threes, that Rudy Gobert kind of roam off of him. Castle was able to hit the threes, knock down threes. I think Fox played a very good game in the beginning. He ended up getting hurt, but he ended up coming back. So we'll see. It's probably going to be sore the next game. Tomorrow he'll, get evaluated, and they'll leave us update on Fox's situation, but he should be good to go for OKC series. But Fox played it really good. He got both feet in the paint. He was able to distribute the ball or score. He was under patient. He was very efficient. So overall, Fox had a very good beginning, but Castle went on a scoring spree, had 17 points, banging threes on Rudy Gobert was leaving him open. He was banging those threes. There was miscommunication when he was driving to the lane. He was able to drive to the lane and dunk. He got going early, 17 points, like at the, I want to say this 9-minute mark in the second quarter. He already had 17 points. And then he really got going again in the second half. But just an outstanding game for him. He's really breaking out in these playoffs. He had 17 points this series, but this game he actually stepped up and starting to show that the potential that he has to step to the next level, especially from big questions where can he hit the threes to open up the rest of his game. He's been able to hit about 40% on his catch and shoot threes. So he's opening his game in that way. He's only going to get better. He's going to keep training with the guard whisperer, who has a great track record of developing guards and players overall. So he's going to keep getting better. He's able to get to the line. He's able to, create foul contact, physical guard, just really, really showed up tonight for the Spurs offensively. And he's been putting in work defensively. He's been on Julius Randle. He's been holding Randle in check at times. He's been, just a two-way player, man, just living up to maybe even extending his potential. but living up to the calling of being a two-way player, I think he was the second best defender in the playoffs behind Janet McDaniels. So shout out to Castle coming through tonight. Player of the game for me. Fox played really well. I thought, like I said, finding people, shooting, scoring early efficiently. Got hurt, but I thought he played a really good game. Let's see. Keldon Johnson struggled. It was kind of weird. He made a bad decision running into three players, kind of like the old Keldon a little bit. That wasn't good. Weird touch on a layup attempt. I've seen him have crazy touch. So interested to see how he plays in the OKC series because we had one banger of Keldon game last game, and now this dud. So we'll be getting the sixth man of the year, Keldon. Or are we getting kind of more of the same? We're gonna need Keldon in the OKC. Hands are all on deck. They're gonna need everybody they can get, all the physical drivers, the paint finishers. That's the name. That's a calling card of the Spurs is getting points in the paint, and Keldon's a big part of that. So he's gonna have to find whatever is going on with him or whatever I don't know. I can't believe it's the physicality because he's been physical, since he's been here. So interesting dilemma for them. Let's see who finished. Champagny, statistically one of the better 3-point shooters in the playoffs. He was 4 of 9 from 3, 5 of 10 from the field, 18 points. Overall plus 35 is some crazy plus minus numbers, but Julian Champagny defended well. Got 18 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, that's excellent from him. Vassell, I mean, he still has impact on the defensive end, a little bit less this game than I think he's been overall. A lot of people will point out the plus minus that he is the highest plus minus and maybe in history at times. So he's definitely been providing value if he's not just hitting shots. And he hits some timely shots at times. Sometimes he missed some timely shots, but overall, Vassell is an important part of this team. So, and his floor spacing, his gravity as a shooter, his ability to score in the mid range is vital to team success. So he's definitely a big part of what we've done this year. Dylan Harper continued 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Just a star, man. Just the guy who's going to develop into a star. Just really proud that we have him, drafted him, that we're going to be able to cultivate his talent over this, the duration of his career. Going to see him evolve as a player. But Dylan Harper is a very special player along with Castle and, of course, Wimby. So, the young core of the Spurs is definitely very promising, very I can't wait to see them develop into what they develop into as a trio and whatever we add to those situations. It's going to be really fun. I thought Luke Cornett's first stint was really good when he came in. I thought the second stint was when Minnesota started to get on the run. They started to go downhill. They started to attack. And so I didn't think his second stint was too well. But Luke Cornett's going to be a big part. He's going to have to step up. 6.6 rebounds. We talk about that. Try to get to 8 and 8, somewhere around there. 8 and 7. Some are giving me around something like that. So 6 and 6 is kind of close to where I want Luke Cornett at. But Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett were a big part of the season and their punch off the bench. And the reason why we were able to run through teams. I mean, Luke Cornett early on was, kind of over highlighting Keldon as a 6-man at some point, or you could pair them as co-6-man. So Luke Cornett definitely helped us early on in the season. I think as the season went on, he kind of faded a little bit in the playoffs. But those three are vitally important to our bench, so they need to bring it because OKC is a tough opponent. We match up pretty well with them, I think. And so those three guys are going to be very important to the success of the team in the next round and in the finals if we get there. So shout out to the bench, shout out to those guys. Man, just a great team win. Didn't have to really stress after that second quarter. Kind of like the Spurs really, just did their thing and put up. I mean, they were hitting threes. That's a big thing for the Spurs. Like the paint points, transition points. Okay, what was their overall total from 3? Let's see. This is kind of weird to see, but they were hitting at a high rate for threes, and that kind of just pick your poison. I mean, if you're going to stop the paint points, then the Spurs are going to kick it out to the 3 point. I mean, they were 18 of 38 from the three. Some of it's kind of a little weighted because of the garbage time, but 47% from three, 18 threes. Minnesota struggled. They only hit 12. So you're +6 right there. On top of adding transition points, points in the paint. Let's see what the points in the paint were. 58 to 52. At one point, Minnesota was like 26 to I don't know, like 12 or 13. But Minnesota was able to capitalize, obviously, when Wemby goes out. I thought they did a good job of driving, even on Wemby at times. You saw Terrence Shannon Jr. able to get downhill. Anthony Edwards was successful driving at times downhill on Wemby. They definitely challenged him. But I thought, I mean, Wemby just makes up a huge difference defensively. He's just going to deter so many shots. He's just there. Just real people are going to think about him. They're going to look where he's at. They're going to the second guess. I mean, he's going to give your defensive players a chance to recover off of screens and get back into the play. I mean, he just makes a huge difference defensively. He's just, a game changer defensively. And I thought he, throughout the whole series, made a huge difference. You can see the big difference that he makes in how much he covers and deters rims of the shot. So, Wemby's just something else, and he's only going to get better, and it's offensively. So, it's crazy to see his potential as a player. But yeah, Spurs, got to the line 27 times. They got shot 27 free throws, 23 to 27, 85%. That's kind of where you want to be at. 85 and above. I like to be in the 90s because, every point counts, but 85% will get it done. They're plus 6 in that department. So it shows the aggressiveness of the Spurs that they're going to have to be aggressive. They're going to have to get downhill. They're going to have to punish teams. And that's what they've done all year, and that's their identity. And so they're going to have to do the same against OKC, who typically is able to play, with more force. They're able to guard harder. They have perimeter defenders. They can stop dribble penetration, but we're going to put that to the test. And I think we'll be able to overcome them and out physical them and get downhill on them. And they'll have Hardenstein, Chet waiting for them. But I do believe that the Spurs will be able to bully those guys and come out with a victory in that series. So we'll see what cracks. And OKC thrives off turnovers. They thrive off defensive, but you can shut the water off if you don't turn the ball over against them. If you play mistake-free basketball as much as possible, if you punish them if you punish them with physicality, I think you can beat OKC pretty well. And I think the Spurs match up pretty well with them. So we'll do a preview into that. We'll talk about, the regular season. We'll talk about the matchups. We'll talk about other things at a later date, getting ready for that series. But I can't wait, man. Spurs are now one series away from making the NBA Finals. If you told me that before the season, I would probably have been like, that's like the crazy fans are thinking that. But over the course of the season, we saw the Spurs really develop and really start to form an identity and start to believe in one another and trust one another. And players really stepped up in development. Players, just Keldon becoming a 6-man, Devin Vassell becoming a better defender. Castle improving on both sides of the ball dramatically as he did. Dylan Harper being as good as he was early on as a rookie. Harrison Barnes at one point was player of the month. He helped carry us. Luke Cornett was, considered one of the better backup bigs in the league at one point, and he was just on a tear. This things came to fruition. Julian Champagnie, led the three, has the Spurs franchise record for threes in a season. Just everything kind of came together in a certain way. And, we can argue about, maybe not having a physical power forward or being able to play, a certain type of ball, but they've been successful playing their style of basketball, and it's led, them past to this point now. And so, man, shout out to the Spurs. Shout out to the players. They deserve to celebrate. Don't celebrate too much because the job is not done. They do deserve to be happy about their progress and what they've been able to show so far in the playoffs. And this is a very confident team. This is a very connected team. It's a team that loves one another, that will play together, and they're going to need that to win a championship. And I'm going to say it could be this year. I'm going to go. Why not? Why not us now? Why not now? Why can't the Spurs win now? Like, why can't they? The experience thing is kind of, I feel like, a little bit overrated, but it could come into play. But the Spurs have a talent. They have the ability to win a championship now, and I think they have that mindset. You hear people say, we can win it. We can go ahead and win it. That's the most important thing is you believe in yourself and you believe in your teammates. That's going to carry you a long way. And I think the Spurs have the talent to do it. So I can't wait to the next round, man. I can't really wait to this round. Shout out to Minnesota. They were down, Anthony Edwards. I mean, shout out to Anthony Edwards, coming back for his team, putting them on their back at times offensively, doing as much as he could offensively. The Spurs did a good job on him at times. He's obviously hobbled a little bit too, but he gave it his all. He went out there and competed. Houts out to him. They're gonna need more offense. They're gonna need, Nas Reed was another guy that came through for them. They're gonna have to figure out. Terrence Shannon showed up 2 games out of the series. They're gonna have to figure out how to get more talent. The West is gonna be very competitive. Teams are only gonna get better. Even the top teams. So they're gonna have to figure out how to get better. Julius Randle, just playoff stinker. His future is interesting. What they're gonna do with him long term. I don't know if it's a guy that you can necessarily win a championship with, but they're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do with Julius Randle long term. They have some question marks on what they're gonna do, but Spurs are moving on, man. I don't want to take too long because I still want to go celebrate. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go safely. If I want to be out in the craziness, I don't know if the highway is going to be crazy, but shout out to Marshall. Hopefully he's safe. You saw the video of him enjoying banging the drums for the Spurs. He's at work right now. Hopefully he's able to enjoy himself and be safe tonight. Because I know, and Spurs fans, be safe. We're not even in the Western Conference Finals yet. We're not in the NBA championship yet. Everybody relax, enjoy the win. Don't go too crazy downtown or in the South Side or wherever you are going to be at. Make sure you're very safe because we still have another series to go. We still have 2 more series to possibly go to celebrate. So everybody be safe. We'll do a recap with Marshall and talk about this series a little more in depth. What we learned about them. We'll talk a little bit about OKC and what we saw from them in this playoff run. Hopefully we'll bring on an OKC fan or somebody that's attached to the OKC team. They can give us insight and we could talk about matchups and we could talk about different things that we see are going to go on. But man, the Spurs are on to the Western Conference Finals. I can't wait to get more gear from the Spurs. And I'm just excited, man. I'm just so excited. I'm going to go celebrate. So hopefully everybody celebrates, have a good time. And we'll be back for the finals. Western Conference Finals, man. OKC, Spurs, what everybody wanted to see, the heavyweight matchup 1 and 2. It's here. So peace, everybody. Have a good night.